Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Make It Yourself. Today we are going to learn how to make this hanging plant. So this hanging plant consists of a number of vines with small flowers in it. The pattern for the vine itself and the flower is very simple, and it is a beginner level tutorial, so anyone can make it. So refer to the description for more details on the hook size and the yarn used. So we are going to make the vine first, and we are first making a slip knot, and then we are going to make a chain of 15. So it is not a hard and fast rule to start off with a chain of 15. This is the initial length of the branch, after which we will start making the leaves. So as per your requirement, you can even change this length. So I'm starting off with a chain of 15, and after that I'm going to start making the leaves. So after a chain of 15, for the leaves we will be chaining an extra 5. So this extra 5 will consist of the leaf and a small stem. So chain 5 next for the leaf, chain 2, chain 3, chain 4 and chain 5. Now on the fourth chain from your hook, make a slip stitch. Now we are going to chain 4 again, and then we're going to make a slip stitch in the same stitch and make another chain of 4. So this leaf has 3 nodes, as you can see, and each node has a chain of 4. So after this 3 nodes, we will make one slip stitch into the next stitch, which will act as a tiny stem, and then we are going to start making the branch again. So for the branch we will keep a gap of chain 3. So chain 3 first, and then we will start off with the next leaf. So for the next leaf again we are going to chain 5. So after the chain of 5, on the fourth chain from the hook, we are going to make a slip stitch, and then we are going to chain 4 to make the second node of the leaf and slip stitch back into the same stitch, and then make a chain 4 again and slip stitch into the same stitch. And on the fifth chain or fifth stitch, we're going to just make a simple slip stitch, and then we'll continue to make the branch. So for the branch we will chain 3 again, and after the chain of 3 we will chain 5 for the leaf. So each leaf will have a chain of 5, and we will make the 3 nodes using the top 4 chains. So on the fourth stitch, make a slip stitch, chain 4 again to make the second node, and chain 4 again to make the third node, and slip stitch back into the same stitch and slip stitch into the next chain. And we are going to repeat this pattern and we'll be doing it based on the length that is desired by us. So you can continue doing this until you are satisfied with the length of your vine. So in this project we are making some long vines and some short vines. So as you can see, this one is completed. So I have completed, so this is the length that I want, so I have stopped with this last leaf. So after this leaf, since this is the last leaf, this will be the top leaf. So here I'm going to slip stitch over the next 4 stitches. So this is the last or the end leaf. So after stitching or slip stitching over 4 stitches right before the connection point of the next leaf, we are going to stop and we are going to chain 5 to make the leaf of the other side. So in the first part we made the leaves of one side. Now we're going to make the leaves on the other side, and the pattern is exactly the same. We're going to chain 5, then slip stitch on the 4th stitch, then chain 4 and slip stitch into the same stitch, and chain 4 again, and slip stitch back into the same stitch, and the extra stitch or chain that is left, that is the 5th chain, we are going to slip stitch over it. And now we're going to slip stitch over the branch part. So this is the node connection point of the leaf of the other side. So on top of that stitch we're going to make 1 slip stitch, and the next 3 chains on top of that also we're going to make 1 slip stitch. So a total of 4 slip stitches we are making on the branch. You need not count this as well, you just have to remember that just before we reach the connection point of the leaf of the other side, we are going to make our leaf here. So chain 5 for the leaf, and on the 4th chain make a slip stitch and chain 4, and then make a slip stitch into the same stitch, chain 4 again, and make a slip stitch into the same stitch. Now make a slip stitch on the 5th chain, and now into the branch portion we are going to make 4 slip stitches into the next 4 stitches. So this is the first, the second, third, and the fourth. So the leaf pattern is exactly the same, which we are going to repeat. So on the other side the only difference is we are going to start the leaf just before the connection point of the leaf of the other side, and we are going to slip stitch over the branch. We're going to make a slip stitch of 4 between 2 leaves. So continue this pattern till the end of the vine. So as you can see, this is a very simple pattern, but the shape of the leaves looks really pretty, and it's really easy to make as well. So here I am almost at the end of the vine. So this is the last part. So here I'm making the last leaf of the other side, so using the same pattern, and after this last leaf I am just going to slip stitch over the remaining chains. So we have the 15 chains that we did at the beginning. We are just going to slip stitch over each of them. So continue slip stitching till the end of the branch. Once you reach the end of the branch or end of the chain, you can just make a chain of 1 and pull the yarn tight to turn it into a knot, and then trim it off. So this is how our vine looks like, and we can make a number of vines of different lengths. So you can have few short vines a few medium length vines and few long ones. So continue and make a few more vines to make the hanging plant. And into this we are going to stitch some small tiny flowers. So for that I'm using a hook of 1.75 and I'm using a yarn of size 10. Details will be available in the description as well. So I'm going to make a magic ring and going to chain 2, and after that into this magic ring I am going to make a double crochet, and following this I'll be making a chain 2 again, and I'm going to slip stitch back into the magic ring. So for the next petal again chain 2, 1 double crochet, chain 2 again, and slip stitch. So this is the pattern for the petal. So we should make a total of 5 petals into the magic ring. Chain 2, 1 double crochet, chain 2 again, and slip stitch. So repeat this pattern for the petal and make a total of 5 petals. So this I am using a size 10 very small size yarn. So if you find working with small size yarn difficult, you can use a normal size yarn also, but as you see the size of the flowers will be bigger, and I feel that for this hanging plant tiny flowers look prettier, but that is fine and up to you. You can even add flowers made of a larger size yarn. So at the end I'm just going to chain 1 and trim, and as you see I have pulled the magic ring and closed the magic ring. After that I am trimming chaining 1 and trimming off this yarn. So on the back side if you see we have the yarn tail yarn on the same side. So what I would prefer is to have one tail yarn on the other side, so that it is easy to tie the flower to the branch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert my hook, or you can use a smaller hook, through few of the stitches, and then pull this one of the tail yarn through them. So insert your hook through the base stitches and pull one of the tail yarn through them. Pull it through few more stitches so that it is exactly on the opposite side of the other tail yarn. So as you can see now both the tail yarns are on the opposite sides, and it is easier to tie the flower to a branch. So to tie a flower to a branch, now I just have to place the flower over a branch, and on the other side I will be making few knots. If you prefer using a needle and stitching it onto the branch, you can do that also, but I feel this is much more easier. And you can obviously after this just hide the tail yarn by stitching into these existing stitches. Here I have just trimmed it off, and you need to make a number of small flowers, and you can stitch them onto the branches. Here you can see I have stitched one at the top and one at the bottom. You can also stitch these flowers after you have made the entire plant, and then decide on how to place the flowers. So this is just the base into which we are going to stitch the vines. So for that I'm making a magic ring and making a chain of 2, and now I'm going to make 9 double crochets into this magic ring. So this is the pattern of a sphere, and you need not use this pattern and can follow any other pattern that is available in the internet to make a sphere. The sphere can be the size of the pot that may be used by you to hang this plant. So at the end of this round, after making 9 double crochets, we are going to slip stitch to the top of our first stitch, then make a chain 2, and for this round we are going to make 2 double crochets in each stitch. Also, I forgot to mention, but the chain 2 does not count as a double crochet. So as you would have seen in the first stitch, though we had made a chain of 2, we still made another 2 double crochets in it. So for this round, make 2 double crochets in each round. This is a sphere which is made using double crochets. I have another pattern available which will be listed in the description to make a sphere, and that will be a sphere which is a little bit larger size than this. So if you would like to make that sphere instead, please do refer to the description. So this is round number 3, and as mentioned in the comments, here we are going to make 1 double crochet in one stitch and an increase in the next stitch. So to make an increase, we will just be making 2 double crochets in the stitch. So make 1 double crochet in one stitch and make 2 double crochets in the next stitch. So continue this till the end of the round, and at the end of the round we are just going to slip stitch to the top of our first stitch, and now we chain 2, and this chain 2 doesn't count as a double crochet. So into the same stitch make 1 double crochet, and for this round we are just going to make 1 double crochet in each stitch. So continue making 1 double crochet in each stitch. In the captions you will see the number of stitches you will have at the end of each round, so you can refer to the captions as well. So at the end of this round we are going to slip stitch again to the top of the first stitch, and then we are going to chain 2 again and make 1 double crochet in the same stitch, and followed by for this round the pattern is to make just 1 double crochet in each stitch. So at the end of the round we will have the same count as our last round, so it will be 27. So continue this, and at the end of the round as usual slip stitch to the top of the first stitch, and from this round onwards we are going to make a decrease. So chain 2 and turn your work inside out, and now we are going to first make 1 double crochet and then a decrease. So make 1 double crochet in the same stitch, and the next 2 stitches we are going to make a decrease. So for a decrease, first yarn over, pull a loop and pull hook through the first 2 loops. Now you have 2 loops left. Make yarn over, pull through the next stitch, and when you have 3, pull through all of them. Now 1 double crochet in the next stitch and decrease in the next 2. So yarn over, pull under the stitch, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over, pull under the stitch, pull through 2 loops. Now you have 3 loops, pull through all 3. So repeat this pattern such that by the end of the round you have a total of 18 stitches. So we are decreasing after each stitch, so we're making 1 double crochet and then we are making a decrease. So slip stitch at the end of the round, and at this point you can insert the stuffing inside the sphere. So insert the stuffings, and after this we have 1 more round left to close the sphere. So chain 2, and in this round we are going to make continuous decreases. So insert your hook into the first, pull through 2 loops, Then insert your hook into the next stitch, pull through 2 loops such that you have 3 loops left in the hook. Pull through all 3 of them. So continue making the decreases till the end of the round in a similar manner, and by the end of this round you should have a total of 9 double crochets left. So repeat this pattern. There might be gaps between the stitches and the filling might be shown, but that is not a big concern because this sphere will be hidden by the vines, and you may also place this sphere inside a pot. So end this round by making a slip stitch and then leave a long tail and trim the yarn. So make sure to leave a long tail because we will need this to close this sphere, as well as we'll need it to stitch the vines to the sphere. So for this last round we are just going to use a needle and go in a zigzag manner through the stitches and pull the yarn tight to close the ending, and then we can stitch the needle through the opposite stitches and close the sphere. So once the sphere is closed, we can place the branches like it is shown in the video and stitch over them using the tail yarn. So there is no particular order in how to place it, so you can just have medium or short vines placed between longer ones. And as you can see, I have just stitched few flowers to the vines. The rest of the flowers I'll be stitching after I have done this placement of the vines into the sphere, so that I know where the flowers will look good in the overall pattern. So here I am just stitching the vines into the sphere. There is no right or wrong way in doing it. The only thing is that you make sure that the ends are hidden and the vines are securely stitched to the sphere. So if you feel that this is a smaller sphere, you can refer to my description and you will have a video which has a different pattern for a sphere which is larger compared to this. So the size of the sphere should match the size of the pot that you are planning to place this vine in. So once you're done stitching the tail yarn, you can just insert it through the sphere and pull it through the other end, and then trim off the tail yarn so the tail yarn gets hidden inside the sphere. Now you can see that the vines are nicely attached to the sphere, and you can place the sphere inside a pot, or you can just directly attach the sphere to a nail in the wall and it will look pretty as well. So here I have placed it in a basket. I do hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, so do subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications and give me a thumbs up, guys, and thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.